Did you know that judging others can backfire on you? Hi, I'm Debra Kasowski, 3-time best-selling author, speaker, executive coach, and the host of the Millionaire Woman Show podcast. Thank you for joining me. Today, I want to talk to you about judgment, judging others as well as ourselves. It can be a costly game to play. Now, it's human nature to judge. We form opinions, judgments, and biases based on previous life experiences, and every experiencing moving forward has a filter of those experiences and how we scan for danger and similarities. Have you ever made a judgment of someone or met someone who was very much like a family member or an acquaintance you met that is either triggered you or endeared you? I have. Sometimes it could be that you're walking into a conference room and you're about to sit down and you look over and it reminds you of somebody you used to know. And you're like, no, I'm going to go sit over there, which could miss out on an opportunity for form business connections, expand your network, or even, you never know. It could be your next partner. You never, ever know. But when we come from a place of judgment, we lose out on opportunities. You see, I was at the premiere event of the Opus, and I was watching this woman. She caught my eye. She kept walking around the room. She had this gray, silvery, plastically 3/4 jacket with a belt, bright pink lipstick, stilettos, and blonde hair that was teased out to here. And as I watched her move around the room, I was curious. Yet at the same time, I was making judgment. She looked like plastic to me. She would look like Barbie. And I thought, wow, who is this person? Why does she grab my attention? The next thing I knew, the guest speaker walked up on stage and stood behind the podium. And guess who it was? Exactly. It was the plastic lady that I had already made judgment on. And I didn't even know her. And the first words that came out of her mouth was, how many of you were analyzing me? Guilty, I raised my hand and I slid into my chair. That cost me. That judgment cost me in the viewpoint in being open, being viewpoint of the possibilities that were going to exist. And the reason I share that with you, this woman was a multi-million-dollar business owner. Could I learn something from her? Absolutely, I can. And I did, so much so that I made a decision not to make those judgments ever again, to come from a place of learning, to come from a place of being curious and wanting to learn more about the people I meet, and really being a good listener and not paying attention to that outward appearance. We make first impressions within the first 7 seconds of meeting someone. And without being curious, we miss out on those opportunities. You see, when we start to judge, we are making comparisons. And that comparison is often to elevate ourselves to a higher level. And that comparison can also lead to competitiveness, thinking that I need to be so much better than them, and you're going to withhold information or act differently. This can lead because your beliefs are going to impact the actions you take toward other people. So if you believe someone's not trustworthy, you're going to be cold, you may be untrusting back, you're going to show up as unfriendly. Now, if you come from a place of trusting someone and wanting to collaborate and be a learner and being curious, you're going to be inquisitive, you're going to be open, and your behaviors are going to reflect the same. So be careful, because your judgment and your beliefs and your opinions that you form, they influence the actions you're going to take toward other people. Now, that can be very disheartening. Like if you believe someone has wronged you and you have an opinion about who they are, every time you're around them, no matter how much you tell yourself, I'm going to be nice, I'm going to be polite, your actions show up in ways that you might not even realize. It could be from a greeting. It could be from how you treat someone. Those judgments will show up whether you believe it to be true or not. Now, I want you to keep in mind that when we make those judgments, when we are making a judgment of someone else, we are simultaneously judging ourselves. And the more we judge others, the more we judge ourselves, and the harder we are on ourselves about those judgments. Now, I was watching a video, an interview of Diane Sawyer with Demi Moore, and she said something so profound. As she was repairing her relationship with her mother, she had this realization that when you decide who someone is, you miss the opportunity of allowing them to be anything different. Now, I might not have said it exactly in that way, but what it got me to stand in that moment and think, wow, when we make those judgments and we put those expectations on other people, what we are doing is we're limiting the capability of someone. Like if we are, talking to someone and we're making assumptions about how knowledgeable they are, we are making assumptions of their capability of, can they succeed at their goals? Are they showing up as the person that they are? Do they have the drive to become who they are? Well, as a coach, as a mentor, I know it's important to hold people capable and resourceful and stepping into their potential, the greatness that exists within them. We need to start treating people with that same respect, not only ourselves, in holding ourselves capable and responsible, resourceful, we need to hold others the same. And because someone was one way in our perception 5 years ago, it does not mean that's who they are today. You are not the same person you were 5, 10, 15, or even 20 years ago. Through life experiences, you've been exposed to different situations, different people, obtained different education, developed new skills. You're not the same person. So be careful of the judgments that you make on others, because you could be missing out on seeing that the opportunity for them to be anything different than what you once perceived and believed, you could be missing out on a connection with someone, a collaboration, or a really great conversation. So in order to move out of a place of judgment, I want you to first recognize, you know what? I recognize and I acknowledge that I have made a judgment. 2 is challenging those assumptions and conclusions. How do you know this to be true? Where are you getting your information from? Is it from your previous experience, or what would happen if you actually took the time to get to know someone? Because you know what happens? We fear what we do not know. And when we know and acknowledge and learn, we're often not as fearful as we thought we needed to be. So being able to recognize and acknowledge, challenge those assumptions, and also start coming from a place of curiosity and wanting to learn more. Discovering who people are for who they are, learning more about a situation. You might need some facts and figures, or just sit down and have a conversation before you make those judgments. I'm pretty sure that you will amaze yourself. Now, in order to move out of judgment, I want you to really get clear on where you notice yourself making judgments. Who have you judged in the past? And where is that assumption or belief coming from? And what would happen if you put yourself in a place of being a learner, being curious, and open to the possibilities? You never know what the next person brings to your life. And when people show up, it is my firm belief that they are either a messenger, a lesson, or you are that for them. Thank you for joining me. Don't let your judgment backfire on opportunity that can help you soar to new heights and step into your greatness. I'm Debra Kasowski. Please go over to my website at www.debrakasowski.com, where you can learn more about, emotional intelligence, appreciative inquiry, learning about coaching, and I will be happy to support you along your journey. Right now, if you get over there, you can get your 3-part video course of Making Habits Stick, building focus and consistency into your practice to knock those goals and dreams out of the park and make things happen. Now, if you're interested in coaching, please reach out to me on my website form, and I'll be happy to connect with you. We'll have a complimentary discovery session of making sure that we're the right fit to work together. Go out and have a fabulous day.